Yes,
We're
finally.
live.
Just
Look
like
at
that.
that.
Dude, I can't even believe how long
Oh
it
my
has
God,
been.
months.
Months. Absolute months.
Where
Like
have we been?
we
Life.
on summer vacation.
Summer vacation. Okay, summer and fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. So how you been, man?
Been all
How's
right.
Crypto Cody doing?
Doing good.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've
I mean,
just
you had addition to the family. There's so much stuff that's been going on.
oh my word. Yeah, that's right. I have a third child now. I mean,
Yes. Yep.
as you already know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's wild.
Very well. I had a son that got married,
Wow, we've had some big life changing
right?
things go on. Wild.
And crypto was still there while we were doing life. And crypto was
Yeah.
definitely doing its thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
And
dude,
we
it's
had an
crazy.
all-time high. It reached what, 126,000 Bitcoin did.
Dude, so
The
many crazy
market
things have happened.
market cap was over 4 trillion.
Yeah,
Um,
life was so much more exciting at that time.
oh my goodness.
It really was. I think it's the other thing too is crypto has definitely had a really, really sad like run along. It's just been
Well, it almost seems like it's breaking out of its 4-year cycle that we are always seeing and kind of following along and thinking that that's going to happen. Now I've been hearing some chatter that, we might be this 4-year cycle might be changing. It might be totally different,
yeah,
especially with everything that's going on with Bitcoin, right? The ETFs, the inflows on it, the use cases, countries are making strategic reserves of it. And as we all know, there's only so much Bitcoin out there. There's only going to be 21 million of them. So with all this stuff going on, to me, Bitcoin's here to stay, and it's still has lots of inflows. The market's still a lot of volume on it. It's still moving along and chugging along. I mean, stock market made all-time highs. Usually at this time, we're looking at getting out of the market or moving into stable coins or whatever. But I'm not sure with Bitcoin. I really am not. I don't know what's going on. If you want, I'll pull up Bitcoin real quick and we can just
yeah.
go from
I
there.
mean, I really feel like what we're seeing right now is people accepting the reality that cryptocurrency is a part of our ecosystem and but it doesn't change the fact that history will continue to repeat itself and we will see another bear market. It's going to happen. It's just a
Oh,
matter of
definitely a bear market, but I don't know if it's going to be on that same 4-year cycle where we could pretty much say bear market's happening, November of
I don't know.
2025.
I mean, I think it's worth looking at the annual crypto chart and just taking a look at what's happened in the past because theoretically, we're still on target to have an explosion. We're still on target to experience a short-term altcoin season, but I wouldn't be surprised if personally I wouldn't be surprised if we see the beginning of the bear market in sometime in January, February. And that's based off of the charts, the annual charts that you and I have seen over history, and we can get into that and explain how that comes about and why that is. But you could be right. There could be a total change. But the thing is, if there is a change, this would be the first time in crypto history that there ever was, that the charts would change and be different from what they've shown us in the past.
Right.
It would be the first time. And I will say, though, there are some first time fluctuations in the charts just this year, as far as like everything has been feeling significantly earlier. That at least that's what I've seen is that you've just seen all the charts and I think a lot of that is due to just the massive influx of the market cap. There's just a massive influx in the market cap due to all the institutional investors. I mean, or you've like, you know, you have an entire crypto czar of the United States of America. I mean, you've had so much going on. There's been so much mainstream going on with crypto, and you
And
know,
stuff behind the scenes too. Like
yeah,
we saw stuff where, there's now stable coin regulations in place. There's more and more regulations coming down the pipe
there is,
for
yeah,
crypto, which overall is going to be a good thing.
It is. It's going
That's
to be a
what's going to make
massively good
Main
thing. And
Street.
I don't think we have any bad news here. I just think that, once 3i Atlas comes, the mothership, everyone's going to be pulling all of their assets, including crypto, and that's when the bear market's going to happen.
Oh,
Anyways, welcome to Bitcoin Fam,
when
guys.
the
We're
ship
hanging out with.
arrives.
So, hey, guys, if you guys could do us a huge favor, please like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification. That'd mean the world to us. I want to remind everybody that Brian and I, we're not financial advisors. We're just doing this for fun because it's just a great thing to talk, And what we'd love is if you guys have anything you guys want to talk about, put it in the chat section. We'd love to talk with you guys. We research different crypto coins and talk about this is a crypto channel. So, anything you
Yeah.
guys want to talk about, we don't know everything. We like to learn from you guys
And
too.
once in a while, we might talk about something way offline that has nothing to do with crypto.
Yeah, exactly.
But I
Yes.
guarantee you'll probably be laughing about that.
Guarantee that you're going to be like, what the F?
Yeah.
It's- Anyways, all right, dude, let's look at Bitcoin and see what's going on. All right, do you want to look at the whole market cap first, at least, and just see what's happening overall?
Yeah, let me get that up and then I'll share my screen.
Yeah, because
Whole market cap. Yeah, that's where I should go. When I pull it up, it'll be probably on the weekly.
yeah, there's so many
Uh,
things that we could look at right now. And the other thing too that I think a lot of people there's a lot of people that have been involved with crypto now for, a while. And there's a lot of people that are just like die hard holding on to um just die hard holding on to assets that were 5, 6, 7 year ago assets, digital assets that just honestly are not a thing anymore.
right. And that's
And
something
and
they've
and
been
this
cutting
is
the
something,
losses.
yeah, and this is something that I really think that people need to understand is that we are moving so fast in the technological growth and advancement of everything. And artificial intelligence is a huge thing now. It's a massive factor, not just in blockchain, but and we were just talking about this the other day, Brian, that Kevin O'Leary was on Fox Business the other day, and he was talking about how it's clunky. Like we're at a point now where even Solana, like even Ethereum, even all of these, like we cannot keep up. There needs to be a greater technology, and it's just like we're moving into massive supercomputer mode right now, where we just need to. It needs to keep up. It needs to keep moving. So just holding on to these old school assets that are respectful, but honestly, probably not
And
going
if
to
they're
take
not
off.
evolving to keep up with the times, then
Correct.
nothing, they're not, yeah,
Exactly.
they're going to go by the wayside.
They exactly what's going to happen. Yep.
Kind of like when we had the internet boom or the tech stock boom, only a few survive. The rest kind of go by the wayside.
Right. Exactly. And there's a lot of really great use cases out there, but in the end, you got to be willing to pivot. I mean, that's the big thing about crypto, in my opinion, is that you have got to be willing to pivot. You can't just hold on to an asset. And it doesn't mean that, say for instance, Bitcoin is going to, tank, but it's not going to be the best use case. It's really like I think overall you're going to see Bitcoin is just going to be something that is just a highly respectable coin, you know. It's
Yeah.
the gold of crypto, like as you've said many times before. And that's, but in the end I think the things that are going to win are the ones that are evolving and adapting to modern day development.
All right. So here's the total market cap. You see my screen, right, Cody?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep.
All right. So we can see back here in 2021, right here, this was the peak of the bull market, right? According to the chart, right? This was
Yep.
because this is total market cap. So right here was the highest it got. And at that point, it was just about $3 trillion. And then we had this, you know, long bear market where it kind of bottomed out, over a 6 month, 7, 8 month period. And then we just had sideways action for like over a year.
Yeah, it was a while.
Right. And then we started going up in 2023 to 2024. End of 2023, beginning of 2024 was pretty big. And then it kind of looked like it made a bear flag. We had another huge up towards the end of 2024. And when this happened, this kind of made me nervous because you can kind of see if I spread this out a little bit. Whoops. You can kind of see, to me, and this is the monthly chart. So, excuse me, weekly chart. So it almost like to me looked like it made a double top. And when that happens, and I should have caught this, I thought about moving stuff around at that time, Cody, and
Yeah.
because look what happened afterwards. We had after that double top, you know, it went down, 35-40%, the whole market did,
Yeah, that's crazy.
which makes after a double top, usually a double top is a bearish chart symbol, and we just had a breakdown. But then back in April, we had it started rebounding and came back up. We broke the all-time high, made a new all-time high, just over 4 trillion. And now, to me, this is where, I mean, if we're looking at time frame, right? If we go back here to 2021, you can see uh, just say from November of 20 to November of 21, that was the year, right? That was the year of the bull market,
Right.
right? So now if we move 4 years later, right? So go to October of 24, which is right about here, right? But almost to me, like we really started having the uptick earlier
Oh,
because
we did. Yeah.
we go back, let's go back more, right? We hear 2027, I mean 2017, but then look how long this bear market was. I mean, it was like 2 years long,
There's like three. Yeah.
3 years long, right?
Yeah.
Actually, 3 years long. And then we
Yeah.
had a year of freaking craziness,
But
right? And now
that's
this one, we go to November of 21 to just call it October. It was only 2 years, the downtrend, even less than that. I mean, this was a huge consolidation zone, but it was even less than that. We had like a consolidation zone, like it dropped bear market, but it was like 8 months. And then when our consolidation zone was only June, a little over a year and a half. And then we had this huge up. To me, things are changing a little bit in the cycle, right?
Mm.
But now this, I mean, up bear flag. Look at these bear flags. This was a huge correction, right? Came all the way back down and tested um, recent highs, but it held. And then this got rejected a little bit, but then it broke up above and made a new all-time high. So to me, right now, we're in this area. And if we're also looking at the time of the market, how long it's been in this bull run, I would proceed with caution. I'm looking to move some of my altcoins into stable coins that I have profits in because this is to me, it's very got to be very cautious at this time. If this level breaks here, this is the total market cap. We'll go into individual coins in a little bit, but if this level breaks, and you can see it's really been testing it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So pretty much the last month,
Yeah.
it's been testing the 20-day moving average on the weekly, and it seems to be holding. But we, really, we have to wait and see what happens because if this breaks right here, I mean, we're definitely going to be going down to you know, 3.2 trillion, we're gonna lose a half a trillion because
What are
it's
you
gonna
on
go
right
down
now?
to this range. If this does not hold, it's coming to here. And then if this doesn't hold, we're going back to probably this zone of, under 3 trillion. We're gonna go back down and test this area. That's on the total market.
Yeah,
But
but you're on the weekly?
yeah, I'm on the weekly. If I go to the daily, we can look at the daily here.
Did you look at you did look at the annual?
What do you mean the annual? The
Like
monthly?
the yearly.
This is all. So I can change that. This is the monthly.
Go to the yearly for a sec
All right.
because I want to see what that chart looks like. I really
Not much
think
data.
yeah. So, I know there's not much data there. It's just
Let's do this.
if you just think about it though, yeah, 6 month, there you go. That's
So
so
it's
interesting.
just starting. If
That's
you
so
if you want to
interesting.
look at this as a long term, which to me, you're going to have some holdings where it's just long term. You're building a position, like maybe it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, whatever, and you just keep dollar cost averaging, and you're just going to do that for the next 5 years. You're going to do that for
But
the
you
next
got to
10.
pivot too, like all of the because like there's gonna be, dude. You think about like when you look at the top, the top market cap every bull cycle. Actually, that's something I want to look up while you're going over that.
So this is the 3 month, but anyway, to me, these look good. The long terms still look good, but if we're going to like the daily or the weekly, doesn't look as well. That's good. So let me zoom this out a little bit. So here's the daily. You can see, yeah, it's back here in April 2025, we had that low down here. Since then, but then we rose right up. Actually, I want to get a little more data here. Sorry, folks, I got a new laptop. I'm trying to figure it out. I went from a Windows to a Mac, so I have a little bit of a learning curve here, folks. So please bear with me. So you can see back here, that was, like I said, we made this double top here back in end of 2024, beginning of 2025. When I saw that, I was like, I screwed up myself personally on my own holdings. I had some coins that I was like, I need to just dump them. This is going to drop. And we did. We did have that significant drop into, all the way to April of 2025. From there, it just kind of worked its way up. Um, you know, broke through, you could see like around 3.2, 3.3 trillion was some resistance on the total market cap. And it was just going above and below, just really testing that. And, it turned into support. So now we had this nice run up here, a little higher. I'm a little concerned that this maybe could have been a double top. We're working our way back down. That's why, and on the daily, we're testing the 200-day moving average. So, which it's holding. You can see it's come down, it's wicked down here, but held. It's tested it, it's holding as support, again as support. Now we're here again on the third time. Is it going to hold for support? To me, if we hold for support, we definitely gotta, when we go back up, it's going to push back up to the 4 trillion mark. Whether it breaks above that or if we make it like, in essence, a double top here. I'm just watching the total market very closely, see what it does. But we'll go into individual coins because I've had some altcoins that I've had some pretty good gains on. And I have some other altcoins that I'm waiting for the bottom to stop. I'm waiting for them to stop dropping. They keep dropping. And then it's just, all you can do is you hold it, or if it's like a dated coin, like Cody was mentioning in the beginning, where they're 5, 6 years old, they really haven't been changing their code or keeping up with the times and what's going on. They're kind of stagnant. I mean, one that was really stagnant that Cody and I held for a long time was XTZ, Tezos. I don't think that's really doing much anymore. But there's a lot of these coins that are like that. So I've been moving stuff around. If I look at one that I've had a long time, I might be like, this isn't going anywhere. So I'll take the loss and put it into a different coin. And right now, being November, December, if you have some coins like that, I'm looking at that. If I have some coins that I'm underwater with, I have a loss, I might go ahead and sell those and put it into something else. And that'll help with my taxes because it'll be a loss. So a lot of people might do that now, tax harvesting in a sense, to help their taxes, to offset some of their gains. They'll take losses. And I have several coins that I'm looking at that I might just bite the bullet, take the loss. It'll help me on my taxes, but I can get into coins that I think are going to perform much more, or I might just put it into Bitcoin or something, depending on the price of Bitcoin. But here we have Bitcoin up right now, and you can see back in July, excuse me, it hit up to 123,000. Then we got to the 124,000 in August. Then we had that new all-time high there, and then it went down. We had this just down direction, a couple of bear flags in there, and it bottomed out probably the end of August. I really thought then we were going to see a really uptick, and we had a little bit of move, but it came up to some resistance here at around the 118,000 mark and went back down, but then we blew right through it. When this happened, I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. We're going to probably get up to 150. And I was wrong. It just barely made a new all-time high at 126,000. But then it just crashed down, went right back down to the 200-day moving average. And it's held for support multiple times. It actually came up a little bit again here, but it made a new lower high compared to the all-time high. And now it's testing again. Could this be kind of like a hook and go? Waiting to see what happens here. I would say in the next few days, we're going to find out whether I'd say within a week, we're going to know if this is breaking down and going below the 200-day moving average, or if we're going to continue on. To me, right now, it's a 50-50 chance looking at the charts. Now, if we break down below the 200-day moving average here, I think we're going to be going back down to like the 102,000. If the 100,000 mark breaks, like this area right here between 102 and 103, if that breaks down, we break below that, we're going to be going back into the mid 90s for Bitcoin. Who would ever thought that? And if that breaks down, I mean, to me, it's still possible we could see Bitcoin go back down to like 87,000. Is that realistic? Well, let's see where the price is right now. Right? If we go all the way down to 87,000, realistically, to me, that's very possible. Because look, that's a 20% drop. How many times has Bitcoin dropped 20% in its history? Quite a few times. So just definitely pay attention to what's going on with the market and watching things closely. So from there, who knows? To me, that's what's happening with Bitcoin. I really am not giving you anything. It's 50-50.
Well, I mean, I
down.
still stand to believe that we're gonna see a bump up.
So
that's
that's
gonna
where
go.
I think the 4-year cycle is kind of changing, right? I think this is gonna. Well, it was always they based it on the Bitcoin halving, and it was always just like a month or two short of 4 years, right? So that month or two short of 4 years, we should have seen this peak in August, September. And where did it peak? The beginning of October. So to me, and now is this the peak? Because if we're looking at the cycle, everything's going down now. So are we starting the downtrend? Right? Here we are down. This is a bear flag, right? This big line here.
Well, that was a massive that really
Right,
pierced through
this
that
is a massive bear
200-day.
flag here. Here's your pole, right? And here's your flag. That's a bear flag. Upside down flag's a bear flag, right? And then look what happened. It went down again. So how far is this going? Is it going to go down here, or is it
If
going
it
to?
goes down there, then I think
What we
we're in
need is
trouble.
this to
It
go.
needs to do that.
It has to
Yes.
break this high right here. If it can
Right.
break this high, that's the first hurdle. If it doesn't, if it decides to go, something like this, and then goes down here, I think the bear market's really taking off then.
But I do think
Yeah.
that that's inevitable. I just think
It's
it's
just a
highly
matter of when is that happening?
right.
Are we going to make a new all-time high?
See,
That's what I'm hoping. I really,
I don't know about that.
people are still saying they think that Bitcoin can still hit 150, 175,000 by the end of this year.
Yeah, it's
So
possible.
that's a big
Hmm.
lift, I think. Because look, if it hits that, I mean, where we're at now, 16, we're down at like 109, right? So, I mean, if it hits 150,000, that's 30, 36, 37% gain.
Yeah.
I mean, has Bitcoin done that? Definitely. If we look, it has. I mean, in that short period of time, I don't know. This right here was just that's a 15% gain. So we'll see. Definitely November is going to be interesting. Usually December's not a good month for crypto. Again, that's when people are tax harvesting, trying to, cut their losses and go from there. Another chart I want to look at real quick, unless you got something. I was going to look at the
I mean,
total.
we can go in. Yeah, go into another.
I'm going to do a total 3, right? So
Yeah,
that's altcoin markets, and I'm going to do ES right here. So it excludes Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stablecoin. So it's a true altcoin market, right? This doesn't look promising at all,
that doesn't look
right?
bad.
Yeah.
That looks like that actually. See, to me, that
Right.
right
So
there
to
looks
me,
like
here was the double top.
that's a bull flag.
Uh, well, you had this big drop here, right?
Well, I'm not talking about that.
What are you talking about? This
See, if
big
you're
thing?
looking at it from that perspective, where I mean, what are you on right now? You're on the
This is
daily.
just the daily.
Yeah, so you're drawing lines that are going like months long, you know? So it's like if you just
Not
look
right
at
now.
like okay,
This is
from
the
where you
daily,
started
right?
that
So this
from
this
where you
was right
started
here,
that,
October 8th,
that's the 8th, right?
right?
So a month
And
ago.
then if I go down here, that's the 15th. That's one
Okay,
week.
so let me make my point. All right.
Okay.
So that right there is a bear flag, okay? Translated to the monthly, which in my opinion is right on schedule. But if you look at that um look at that like somewhere between where it starts to get kind of green.
Be more specific, please.
Well, okay, well, I can't see the dates,
All right. So
but like right there. Nope.
right here,
Yeah, and that like you see where it starts to get some green candles going up a little bit right
over
there.
here.
Yeah.
So
To me,
that's
you're
that's
forming a bull
that's
flag right there. A
oh,
little
you're
bull.
talking
I'm talking like you're forming a little bull flag right there, and I think what's going to happen is
the bull flag broke down. I mean,
not if you're considering the bottom,
so you consider this,
the
that's a
bottom,
very right as a bottom.
right? And I think what's going to happen is that's going to be your bull flag that's going to launch you. I don't know where it's going to launch you to,
So
but I
that's
think
what
what's
Cody's
yes,
calling the bull flag right there.
right. And I think so if you look at it from a monthly perspective, you have a bear flag, which in my opinion
Well,
makes
I don't know.
sense.
Let's go to the monthly.
Well, it's just because it shows you
Or
right there that
let's go to
first
the
line that you
weekly on
drew.
this. So this is the weekly. Um,
I still think that we're going to see I still think what we're going to see is what we're in November now.
yeah, November 1st.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a nice run this month. And then I think we're going to see things start to retract in December. And then I think we're going to have another nice run in January, like ish. And then
So this
some,
chart looks more promising to me.
yeah,
And this is the still drawing lines, folks. Sorry about that. So this is the total two. So it's all altcoins, including Ethereum and stable coins, right? So that looks a little better to me here. I mean, this is the weekly. So this is back in October 2023 where my cursor is, right? And that's to me when the bear bull market started. We had this big uptick. You could actually look at this as a big bull flag. Here's the flagpole. Here's the flag, right? Over a long period of time. From October of 2023, it goes up till March of 2024, and then it forms the flag over several months, and then it skyrockets, right? And this is where it's kind of like almost a double top, but over the long term frame. But again, went down, almost broke down, but it held.
Hey, you got to plug
So
in your computer, man.
what was that?
You got to plug in your computer.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I do, don't I?
We're gonna lose you soon.
Sorry. Anyway, you got anything to talk about? I'll go back to the flags
Yeah,
and
that's fine.
charts
I got
in a little bit.
while Brian plugs his computer in, I got some stuff that we can
So
share.
we're really rusty here. It's been a little while.
Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. All right, so this is interesting. I was kind of looking at the top 10 cryptos that were actually back in May of 2018. All right. The
Oh, this
top
is
10 cryptos. You got Bitcoin, Ethereum, obviously. They've stayed consistent the entire time. Gone down to whoops, XRP, and then Bitcoin Cash. Haven't heard that one in a while, which is crazy. EOS or EOS, I don't know if you guys remember that. Litecoin, Stellar, which I believe or is just XLM now. I don't think we actually call it Stellar anymore, anyways. Cardano, Tron, and IOTA. So that's 5 years ago, you know. And so what I
oh,
think is
no, look,
really
Cody, that is 7 years ago.
is that 7 years ago?
Yeah, we're in 2025.
Oh, you're right. Okay, that's right. So 7 years ago. So this
All
was,
right.
and the reason why I think 7 years ago is actually a really good chart to look at is because that was like the first
So
serious,
this was in the bear market.
yes, but this was like the first serious, like everybody's really looking at this now. This is not just, well, not everybody, but this was the kicker that got people to really start looking at crypto. So I just think this is a really interesting like chart to look at to see. And then look at this. The price of Bitcoin was $7,000. Like at this time, that is so wild to think about. Ethereum $500, 60 cents. So anyways, you look at that and then you look at what we're at now. So Bitcoin's still there, Ethereum's still there. It's consistently in the top market cap.
And
But what I find
XRP.
XRP is still there. So the things that Tron is still there, which is amazing too. You know,
Cardano's there as well.
Cardano is there,
And then that's it.
and that's it.
I can't believe
So,
Bitcoin Cash is still at 13.
so something to consider that the coins that have survived multiple bear markets over the past 7 years, and and then also survived multiple bull runs over the past 7 years, is Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Tron, and Cardano. As far as being in the top 10, like that is significantly impressive. And then you got two stable coins that have just been hanging out, and I really think that's really fascinating because I would argue that this is the first time that we've seen stable coins remain in the top 10 for
They
this
will be there.
long.
They'll always be there now.
And they'll always be there now, probably. Yeah, just because, and that just goes to show that a very, very large amount of money is being in stablecoin. And that's what people talk about is they talk about stablecoin, and just because the amount of investments that you can get, like conservative investments with stablecoin, people are more interested in that than they are the high risk crypto assets. So, anyways, that's all I had to say about that. I thought it was really interesting. But
Yeah,
you get yourself plugged in.
I did. So, um, I got a chart I'm going to show now if you want Bitcoin dominance.
Oh yeah. And that's another thing too, by the way, I failed to say, is our fear and greed index right now is in the low 30s.
I know. So that's another thing that kind of makes me feel like we haven't had that big run up
No,
where
we haven't.
everybody's greedy.
That's my point. We haven't. We have not had it, and I seriously think that we'll see it in November. I think December will be discouraging, like you said. I think January will be another like, oh my gosh, I don't want to miss out, and then done in February. But hey, maybe I'm totally wrong about that. That's what I think is going to happen, and I think we're gonna. It's just amazing how people are so driven emotionally and not going about this intelligently. It's
Yeah.
just like you need to not be emotional about it at all, you know? Actually, a lot of the best ways to invest is just go long term, set it and forget it. But I do think the best people that are going to win are the ones that are paying attention to the assets that are actually making those pivots,
Right.
because look at
And
the chart we just looked at, look at the one we're looking at now.
if we're going to have, I mean, rising water raises all ships, but there's going to be some altcoins that used to be good are not going to be good. They're not going to get back to their all-time highs. They're not even going to get close to it because it's just they're not as viable as they were when they came out.
Yeah, but I guess my whole point with what I was saying earlier was is that if people are wondering like, well, how do I set it and forget it and not worry about this anymore because it gives me anxiety and I'd rather just not worry
Dollar
about this.
cost averaging.
Well, dollar cost averaging, yes, but also put your investments in things that have survived the past 10 years
But
in the
look at the
top
top 10,
in the
right?
top 10, specifically in the top 10. And we just went over those and it's five individual coins and they've remained and they've done well,
So
but
here's
at the same time,
Bitcoin.
things are going to change.
They
This
are.
whole entire thing might change completely.
So here's Bitcoin dominance. And you can see from, the bear market of September of 2022, Bitcoin was just going back up. And down there, it was down at 40%. Now it rose all the way up to 60, almost 66% back in June. Now, this is the weekly chart. And then since then, it's been going down, right? Until September. Now it's rebounding a little bit. So, but this doesn't say that Bitcoin price is going down because if we looked at Bitcoin, it really wasn't going down like this. Altcoins were moving up faster than Bitcoin. But now it seems like to me, altcoins dropped a lot more than Bitcoin did in little corrections. So that's Bitcoin dominance rises again. But now it's at this level that could turn into resistance, this 60% Bitcoin dominance, which could push it down. I think it's going to happen. Not saying Bitcoin price is going to go up, but this is going back what we're thinking altcoin season is going to pick up.
Yeah.
And once
Yeah.
altcoins pick up, even though if Bitcoin's price still goes to 150,000, right, and makes it $3 trillion market cap or whatever it'll be, roughly, a little less, what happens if altcoins go up, tenfold from that? So
Yeah.
that will again push the dominance down of Bitcoin. So to me, let me go back here and go to, this is all of the dominance, right? This was back in 2017. This was really the first altcoin season. And we could see Bitcoin was at 95% dominance in Wednesday of March of 17. And in a period of, just call it, we'll call it a year, even though it's like 11 months, it went down to 36% dominance. But that was altcoin season. The first altcoin season. The year Cody and I bought Tron.
Yeah, never forget it.
But then the bear market happened. So the more volatile, high risk assets are going to drop much more than Bitcoin. Hence, Bitcoin gaining dominance, right? And it got all the way up to like 70%. And we kind of went sideways there. That was the bear market, right? And then we had 2021 come. 2021 came, and that was another altcoin season, right? After Bitcoin peaked, which its dominance peaked, it went all the way down from 72% all the way down to 40%. Now, it doesn't look like Bitcoin regained that 70% dominance. Could it? I think the only way Bitcoin is going to regain that dominance is we got to see Bitcoin take off again and make another new all-time high. Get up to 150, 170,000. Then I think we're going to see Bitcoin back up at least to this 66% dominance. It might even push the 70% dominance. But if we see Bitcoin hit 70% dominance, get ready for some type of massive altcoin run or massive market drop of Bitcoin, not in relation to altcoins, because the dominance will go back down to the 45%. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's my take on it, right? But now just to go back to the total two, see right now the total two is, this chart looks good to me, more so. Definitely on the monthly, big bull flag, we went up and made a new higher high. So now it looks like we're in another bull flag formation for the total two, so altcoin market. So that could be getting ready to break. That's on the monthly. If we zoom in a little bit on the weekly doesn't look too bad either, right? As long as this 20-day moving average on the weekly chart holds, which it looks like it's really trying to, this could really shoot up. To me, I still think altcoin could get by itself to $3 trillion anyway, which would be a huge move. And that would, definitely drive Bitcoin dominance down. And let's do this numbers real quick. I'm going to go here, right? So Bitcoin's 110,000 right now. If it hits 150,000, that's going to put that roughly at $3 trillion market cap. Now Bitcoin's at 3 trillion, and what happens if Bitcoin is back down to 50% dominance? That means the altcoin market's got to be 3 trillion, right? That would put us at a $6 trillion market cap. Is that possible? That means from where we're at now, we have to see the entire market go up roughly 50%.
Yeah, that's not happening this run.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think so,
Dude, that's
right?
not, there's no way that's happening. That would be insane. I mean, to be honest, I don't even think we're going to see Bitcoin go past 150. I mean, I would be ecstatic if we saw 150 this year.
So that's not happening, Cody.
I don't think so.
Well, this is the total two.
Yeah.
The total two right now. I mean, this was back in from October of 2024, the end of October, to the end of December. Just call it a 2-month window there. That went up 80%. And that's just a year ago, right? I mean, is it possible? Yeah, so that's the total two, right? If we look at the total three, right? So here we are back in October. This could be getting ready to set up too, to take off.
It's
So
actually
here we
nice to
are. Here we are in October,
I think we're gonna have a good November. I'm not gonna lie, I really
right?
do.
I mean, that's almost 100% gain. I mean, depending where you want to take it, right? If I took it from this bottom right here, where it starts going up, so that's September to September, October, and November. So that's a 3-month span. That thing went up over, the market went up over 100%. The altcoin market minus Ethereum. Pretty crazy.
So
So
can,
can it happen? But then it dropped, 70%.
so can I propose a really interesting thought?
Definitely.
So I've always over the years thought about this. I don't know if there is a way to look up a specific chart like this, but it's basically a psychological chart that I think was really interesting. Imagine, okay, so you and I haven't done anything on this channel for how many months?
Probably 6 months.
Six
Anyway.
months. All right. Well, the market's really pretty much done nothing over the past 6 months also. Okay.
Oh, my portfolio begs to differ.
Yeah. But my point is like the big moves that we've been waiting for
Right, they haven't. They've been
haven't happened.
my portfolio. A lot of my stuff has been just in the
Right.
last 3 months
So,
keeps going down,
so in other words,
and
you and I
lower
control.
highs and lower lows.
So in other words, you and I are the ones that control the market, and that's just what happens. So no, I'm just kidding. But it's no, what I'm saying is that I've noticed that the natural interest of people really you get excited about the market. It's like it's almost like you're right on time. Like right when you start getting back into like researching and being a part of and buying, it's like you're not the only one that's doing that. It's almost like there's like a
Market cycle
psychological.
for people
Yeah, exactly. It's
on the
weird.
psychological level.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
So
driven by
charting that.
anything other than just creature of habit. You know, it's just like
Yes.
you go through this whole like thing, summer vacation, whatever. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But all of a sudden, I think what I'm saying is there's something to be said for intuition and there's something to be said for interest. Like when you're
Yes.
interested in something, you're not alone. There's a lot of
All right.
other people that are interested in that, you
So,
know?
all right. So I'm interested in something.
Right, exactly. So I that just trail with me for a second here. You know,
I am.
like I just think that if you're feeling that interest right now, you're not alone in that. And I think that you're going to start to, that's why I really think you're going to start to see something happen because it's just creature of habit. It's human instinct. It's gut feeling. Some people call it that, you know, and I just feel like we're going to see something happen this month. But I also think we're going to see a bear market come really fast. And I
So,
mean really fast.
so we're
Like,
gonna. Yeah, that's why we're gonna have to really pay attention because I agree with you, Cody. I think something really good, big, and on the upside is going to happen the month of November.
but you have to pay attention.
It's going to be quick.
Yeah, it's going to
It's
be
going to be
so
like
quick.
a few
Yes.
days, a week maybe,
Yes. You're going to see
and
this
then it's
build
going
up.
to go down, and
Right.
it might start slowly, but then the bottom's going to fall out.
Right, exactly. And that's like I know that's a weird thing to say, but I just feel like over the years I've noticed that. And when you are feeling that moment of greed where you're just like I just want more, 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 more cuz but you're like not like oh man, the market's down. I wish I had more. Not that feeling, but the feeling of like now you're really making some gains and you're just like yes, give me more.
Oh, it's going
Like
to go higher. It's going to the moon.
look at the fear and greed index at that point. If you see that thing over 70, it might be a good idea to pull out.
Start looking at taking profits off the top of it.
Exactly. That to me is like that's the power of the gut feeling, you know,
Yeah,
because
you
you're
don't
not the
want to
only
turn a
one
winner
feeling that.
into a loser,
Yeah, pretty much. But
and
I think
we've
it's going
all
to
done that.
happen quick, and I really think it's going to happen this year. Is you're going to see it. But I don't know. I mean I know
So,
what we've been talking about, but
but then you got to keep track of your individual altcoins. Like, here's one. I'm going to share my screen. Cody and I, full disclosure, both hold this one. Um, and you know the one I'm talking about,
you look at
Sarah,
syrup. Oh yeah, baby. She's
right?
up today.
She's up today. So, and she's up moving good. So I'm watching this one closely. So when Sarah, and I've held this for a while. I actually held it before it was the syrup token. It was a maple token, and then you converted it. So I've taken some profits when it hit this range here. Because when you did the conversion from the maple token to the syrup token, it was a 100 one maple token gave you 100 syrup tokens. That was the conversion because if maple was still in play and it didn't lose value, it would have been at $63 right now. But there were a lot less tokens, so they did the 1-for-100 swap. So when I saw this, in the old high for maple was like $63. $62. So when I saw the syrup token hit like 62 cents, which is again doing the 1-for-100 split, I was like, to me, that it touched its old all-time high, even though it's a new token, new utility, everything new about it. But I scraped profits off in this area. Actually, I think it was 58 cents. When I saw it going down, I'm like, I'm taking profits off the top. And that was back in June. And then you could see what happened with it. It went all the way down here. And then it went back up. And when it went back up, again, I scraped some profits off. But then I have the rest of my holdings now. And you can see from here, it just continued going down and down and down and down. Actually went all the way down, spiked down to below 30 cents. But now it's kind of making its way back up. So I do have sell orders and to sell some more, I think at the 55-cent range. But I don't know if it's going to hit that. So I'm watching this one closely. Like right now, it's really the last week. Syrup's been performing pretty well. We'll go from last Friday to we're at peak now. I mean, it's up 25, 27% over the last week.
Well, we really
Is
got
it
to
gonna,
blow. We got to really blow past that 50 cents.
well, I think our first hurdle here is the 45 cents. If we can break 45 cents here, its last,
We're finally
local
breaking
high.
the higher low cycle, or the lower high,
Right.
or
We gotta
whatever you
we
call it.
gotta at least, I mean, right, yeah, we were going, lower high. It kind of tried to test that, but realistically another lower high. Here's a bear flag, right? And just another little bear flag, and just, we had a series of bear flags here. So here's the last bear flag right here, right? And it went down again. But then we made this right here, a new local high, a new higher high compared to here. So
Yeah.
now we break down, but this could be more of a bull flag instead of a bear flag, as long as this right here, we got to break this level. So we got to really break like 46 cents. And if we do that, that to me is a trend reversal signal, possibly that we've made another higher high.
Dude, we're in
So that
such a
would be three
scary
in a
time
row.
for a trend reversal. Like to be talking about trend reversals right now is so
Well,
scary.
short term, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's just so
Because this is a
interesting.
daily. So, but yeah, we got to definitely, if we can break this 52-cent mark.
Do you think it's possible that the peak of our market was significantly earlier than we all thought?
Yes, I do.
Like we're
I
talking
kind
like
of, I'm thinking that.
summer early, you know?
I think it came earlier, if we look at the total
Well, it didn't
market,
just come earlier, but it came more disappointing. You know, it was just like,
it wasn't as like outstanding. It
yeah,
wasn't,
there was way too many predictions at
but if we
crazy
go from
levels.
April all the way up to here, it was just from April to there, I mean, that was an 81% gain market wide, total market.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I so yeah, it's tough. Total market, we got to get it back about 4 trillion. We really have to get a
I think it's possible to see
lot's going on.
one
That's
more
why
run up,
I'm more
but I think that's
talking
it,
like,
man.
you
I
know,
think I think
I'm
it's
looking at like, what's
dude,
another one?
can I put something out there right now?
Yeah.
After really evaluating this with you and looking at this with you, I would not be surprised. Okay, so like the last bull market, what we saw was a final push in January, and then we just tanked. And I mean like seriously tanked into a bear market in February of
Actually, it
20.
was even, yeah, I think it started a little earlier than that, but
Well, yeah, but you get what I'm saying, right?
right.
So with that being said, especially considering that we just saw the top of the market back in way earlier than we thought we'd see it, you know, I wouldn't
Well,
be
not
surprised.
really. It wasn't earlier than we thought we would see it, right?
As of right
Um,
now, the top of the market is significantly earlier than we thought we'd see it. Like
no,
by a
no,
couple
here we
months,
go.
by a
I
couple
don't think
months.
so. I'm gonna share my screen again.
And so with that being said, it would not surprise me
If you look at
if
top of the market, it was right here, right? Almost 4.3 trillion, right?
what was
That
that,
was the
October?
beginning of October.
Oh yeah, the day
But
that
that was the cycle I thought was going to happen.
yeah, I mean that was the cycle we both
It
thought was
just,
going to happen.
but it wasn't as big and strong and powerful as it has
Yeah,
been in the
well,
past.
it wasn't except for the fact that Bitcoin was at 120,000. That's
Right.
insane. We're
But
talking
the
about
altcoins
altcoins
aren't,
versus
weren't.
Bitcoin. Bitcoin was strong, altcoins were not, which is why I think it's possible that we'll see an altcoin run in November.
So that's what
But
yes, okay. I'm on board with that. Maybe we've
yeah,
seen Bitcoin's all-time high and it's not coming back.
I
Right.
don't
So
think you're going to
now
see it
we're
come
in the
back to
process
that.
of
Yeah.
Bitcoin finding its local bottom. Is that going to be around 100,000? Let me go to the Bitcoin chart
Dude, but
real
we're
quick.
playing it so close. I mean,
Right.
it's like we said earlier,
So
it's going to
is
go
there gonna?
so
I think
freaking
we're gonna see
fast.
altcoins pop. Yes, in the
Yeah, of
next month
course
or
they're going to
two.
pop.
The next couple months is going to be altcoin season.
It will, but I don't know about December. I mean, some coins.
I
I
think
just think
some.
that people are
Yeah,
going to be so
actually, remember altcoins, some of them will run over until like the beginning of January because some of them would boom and then like middle of January shit drops.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing is like, so you have a lot of, and this is what I'm getting at, is there's a lot of coins out there that people are invested in and emotionally attached to that are not going to perform the way they want them to perform.
No.
And then they're going to be watching all of these stronger coins, altcoins, you know, that are going to be popping off and doing really well,
And
that are
there
in the
is
top 10, top 20, and they're going to be hanging on and hanging on and hanging on. And guys, it's going to be disappointing. I mean, and you know, and a perfect example of this in my experience of crypto over the past 7 to 8 years is TRX. Okay, but you know what's amazing about that is that look at where it's at now. It's 30 cents. Like I held on to that thing for years, you know, and it's just and you cannot be emotionally attached to that stuff. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. Is you have got like there's a lot of people that are on the Solana train that are just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Oh man, I just want Solana to just explode. And it's just like, dude, you might have to hold on. You need to think more
so
long term,
yeah, I'll go to Solana.
you
Right.
know?
Solana, I think, yeah. Um,
And then you got to understand that things are changing. Like there's pivots that are happening. That like massive, massive pivots. I mean, you've got
yes.
some serious new technology that's begging for a better technology, you know, and Solana and Ethereum might not hit that. You know, I mean, there's respect in those coins and there's respect in those projects and that blockchain and all that, but it's
So here's Solana,
you got to
right?
pivot.
So Solana was way up here, right? Around 260,
People are waiting to hit go past that. They're
right?
just
And then
waiting and
and then
waiting.
FTX
Yeah.
happened
Yeah.
and the bear market and everything else, right? So
Yeah,
then
there it is.
fuck, Solana was down here. I remember looking at Solana. I think it was just below $10. It was, and I'm like, someone's like, you buying Solana? I'm like, nah, I'm afraid of it. And the next thing I know, Solana's up to $100. And then it was up to $200. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I bought it down here. I bought it like at 129.
You got some good you have some good
Right.
stable.
I didn't
Yeah.
buy it going up here, but I did wait till down in here, right?
Yeah.
So I bought some and I still have it. I haven't sold it. You know, when it got up to here, I was like, ooh, I should sell it, but I did not because I'm being greedy. The bull market hasn't started yet. This was the end of November of 2024. I'm like, it's gonna go higher. You know, it's gonna be $500. It's
Yeah.
my thinking, right?
Right.
Goes down. Then we had this peak right here at 290. Well, this is just the wick at 294, you know, but its close was more around 250. That's this right here. That
Yep.
was resistance. And then again, it's tried to break that a little bit and it's getting pushed down. So this is a strong resistance line,
But you
you
might
know,
not
from
see it
here.
go back to that. That's kind of my point, you know,
Uh,
is that
so
might that
I
might
think
be
that
the end of that.
if you're saying we're still going to have like an altcoin season, altcoins are going to bump up. I think that Solana is going to come back up to this level.
But that's my point.
So,
That's what I'm
right,
trying to
is it
say
going
is
to
that you
crush it?
don't be
I don't think
surprised
so.
if it just touches where it once was, and that's that, you
So
know?
this is where you got to start thinking about your exit strategy then,
Yeah.
right? Do you want to just hold these coins through a bear market to when they're going down in this area, or do you want to skim profits or take profits? So this is my plan, right? Just for everybody out there. And again, Cody and I, we're not financial advisors. This is our little side thing. This is what we like to do. So, and sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. But I have sell orders in for my Solana, and I'm trading Solana to USDC, right? For around this $250 range. That way, I'm taking my profits. I'm not losing my profits. I got in around 128, I think it was, right?
You're still
So
in the profits anyways.
I'm still in the profits now, but I probably should have. I thought, see, I thought we were going to go much higher than here. That's why I didn't sell any. And then we had this drop, and then it's working its way
I
back
mean, I
up.
think that you would even be safe to pull profits at like the two, what is that? The 240 range or something like that, or 230 range.
Here's the 230 range right here where my
Wait, right
mark
there,
is.
230. Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like you'd even be
I
safe to
really
pull
think
it at
it's gonna
230.
push up there, but you have to have your order placed because you can see, I really think it's gonna wick up to this line again. So I gotta look at it, but I'm probably gonna put sell orders in. I don't have them placed yet, but probably around 250, 200 and between 245 and 55 because I'm gonna go into a tighter frame chart. But that's just Solana. So, I have, and then, I went over Arrow I'm not Arrow, syrup. Again, I'm probably gonna get rid of my syrup or step my way out of it. And I'll go back to syrup real quick.
And then, going into these going into
Right.
these stable coins is
We
not a
don't have
bad
as much
idea.
data there. Oh.
Do you ever think about that, Brian? Just
So
going
that's
into
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sell and move into stable coins. I mean, everybody's probably on Coinbase. A lot of the exchanges, um,
and then just ride that interest for the
they
bear
give
market.
you 4%, 3, 4, 5% on your
Yeah,
stable coins.
exactly.
So that's to me is great. And I'm going to throw my crypto into stable coins and I'm just going to get that interest until I see a good opportunity to get back into the market. I don't leverage trade. I'm just not a risky person in that aspect. So I'm not doing any shorts or any of that. That's
I mean,
just
I really think that
But
the
people are
leverage
gonna make a
trading
lot
is
of money with this
is
market going down. But here's SERP, right? Real quick.
yeah.
So we're at that key level like we had spoke about. You know, I do have orders placed. I think my first one is I got some getting ready to sell at 51 cents. Then I have some at 55 cents. And then if that breaks, I think my last one is probably around 60 cents or 58 cents. I'm just stepping my way out. And then I'm going to keep a small amount and just say, screw it. I'm going to ride through the bear market for long-term prospecting, right? So that means let's see where it is in 5 years.
Yeah.
But the majority of my holding is going to be sold into stable coins and then
Yeah.
just sitting on an exchange somewhere collecting the 4% interest.
Right.
It's better than
Yeah.
putting it in cash and putting it in your savings account. But it's
So,
easy enough for me to get that money too. It's not like it's locked up. I can change it into US dollar and send it to my bank account, in a couple clicks.
we're gonna. I gotta let you go here
Yeah.
because I got some stuff I got to take care of. But I just want to let everybody else know out there, we're gonna start putting out some more videos. We're gonna be watching this very closely. I think this next month is gonna be very critical for the market because if you don't see if you don't see any movement, if this continues to go down, like I mean, geez, we might have missed it. That might be the end of it, folks. So I
So
just
so then we can share our exit strategy or
exactly. I
how
think we're going to be talking about the exit strategy, but that's the gut feeling thing that I was telling you about that I really feel like I think you guys are feeling that too.
that's
I
my
think
gut
everybody's
feeling that
feeling that right now.
I'm hoping for one more bump up,
I think there will
right?
be.
To
There will
get
be, but
more
it's going to be
profits
so
and sell,
quick.
but I'm also protecting profits that I have.
Yeah. It's going to be so quick and then there's going to be a lot of disappointment. And so I just think that right now everybody needs to be and everybody is thinking about exit strategies,
Chicken
and
Little. The sky's falling. The
the
sky's
sky's
falling.
falling. Yeah, 3i Atlas is almost here and we need to and the
Yeah.
mothership when it comes, crypto's not going to be so important at that point, So we
Or
just
maybe that's the only way you can get on the mothership,
yeah, maybe. Yeah. Hey
right?
guys, if
Here's
you
your
could do us a
crypto.
favor
We don't
though,
take
and
US dollars. Paper? What's that?
it's
Here's my change, my piggy bank.
dude, we're about to get into like an actual real life Star Wars life. Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
about to
goodness.
be insane. Guys, if you could please like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, that would mean the world to us. Let us know in the comment section what videos you guys want us to put out for whatever coins. What coins are you guys holding? We would love to do some research on those coins for you guys, put out videos especially for you, and we're going to continue to get back into it. I know we've been gone for a while, but we want to really, really pay attention to what's going on because this is
This
getting
is the
real.
time to
It's
pay
getting real,
attention.
man. We're in the
Yes.
30s right now in the fear and greed index. This could be a time to buy, but we gotta we gotta just take it easy, figure it out.
Yeah,
So
I'm looking at preserving profits more so than looking at buying, but there might be some buying opportunities out there. There always is. So anyway,
actually, wait, hold on one second.
We got something.
Just wanted to recognize. Okay. Yep. Sorry. We're good. So
We're
yeah.
good.
All right. Love you guys.
All
I'm
right.
gonna get out.
All
So.
right. Excellent.